We are live. Hey, what's up, everybody, man? Y'all know what it is, man. I'm SkipgoesHARD, the most underrated, never duplicated, funniest sneaker YouTuber in the game. Facts, and we have the one and the only. Now, this one, a lot of people have been hitting me up on the, hey, bro, shit, we gonna get TJ on, bro, shit. I'm like, hey, I got you. And we have, man, we got talks with TJ in the building, man. Clap, clap. Hey.
You silly, man.
Yeah. So, TJ, how are you doing today?
Let me throw these in so we don't have, hopefully, no problems, no nothing.
Oh, bet.
Let me see. Hopefully, if it's gonna work, no problems. Let me see. All right, can you hear me? I just need to make sure it's not an echo or nothing like that.
Oh no, we good. Okay. I hear you. Good.
Awesome. No, it is going great, man. Busy. Like the fact that everything changed for the world didn't really change a thing for me outside of the fact that I am able to work on my own platform and everything more. So I work at home now, work a lot less at the store, but work a lot more on videos and editing. So I'm loving it. Absolutely.
This is like one of those taking advantage of what's going on type build.
You can come out of this, taking the opportunity to use whatever you have at your disposal to move forward, because this will pass, and most of it's and most of what we see right now, or you could use it as a reason to not move forward. It's really going to be all up to the individual.
Yay, hey, you hit that shit on the head. Look at that. Yeah. Big facts, man. So every time I start the interview, when I'm interviewing my guests, we always start with this first question. What is something people always assume about TJ? What do always people that think they know, but they have no idea? What do they always assume about talking to TJ?
For friends that are in here, they'll understand this. So I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it is my positive outlook. Maybe it's my really relaxed demeanor. But I think people assume I'm the one to try with little smart comments on social media. Like they think I'm the one to try. And for those who really know me, they'll comment and they're like, so you're on your 2 feet tall savagery today, huh? Like they understand or they know. So I have a very dry sense of humor. My mom has always told me I don't really have a cut card. So when I was growing up, my mom had to say, what you're saying isn't a lie. It's not wrong, but you just can't like say that socially. For people, for the care of their ego and things like that. But I mean, yeah, they try it and then they find out it doesn't go that well on Instagram or even in YouTube comments. So that's probably, I think people just assume that because I may not give that energy to a lot of things that, oh yeah, we could just say X, Y, and Z. Oh, go ahead and try it.
Yeah. Shit. Exactly, like that, and that's why I like to start with the assume, because when like the people who, like you said, like the people who know you, they know like what's up, you know what I mean? But the people on the outside looking in, all they can just assume as what they see, you know what I mean? And they might you know what I mean?
That's it. And people have to remember too, when you're a creator, it's a delicate balance of being a publicly private person. You put yourself out there with a finesse that, you don't really know. You get a 10-minute clip of what I choose to present to you. That's not really understanding myself, what I could be doing, going on in life and different things. So, it's always interesting when people think that they know you. I just laugh like, man, you really don't know.
Exactly. I like how you said that. Pretty much like what people see is just like what we put out there. You know what I mean? Whether it's going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or like what you see is not really what you get type stuff. You know what I mean? But it all depends on what the individual wants to put out there. And I like that answer that you gave. That shit was spot on. So man, how was it growing up with you as far as on the sneakers side of the game?
So for me, in terms of kicks, I 100%, I was never the little girly girl. Like when I was like 4 and 5, my mom she would come home from school and she would look at my teachers like, what's going on? Because she would come home every day and the little bows are ripped off on the middle of her t-shirts. What's going on? And then she finally found out. She sat me down one day. She's like, are you ripping the bows off? And I'm like, yes. I don't know why you keep buying me shirts with bows and pink and everything else on it. I don't want that. I
Hell
don't want
no.
that. I just want a sweatsuit and I just want some sneakers and that's it. And she
Yeah.
learned this lesson. I think I've told this story before on one of my videos, but I was at a birthday party. It was my party and she put me in a dress and I cried for half of my party. And so she let me put on sneakers and the sweatsuit. And after that, I was perfectly fine. So I've always been that different style. I would rather just be comfortable. And that usually does have to do with being in boy clothes or more of an androgynous look. So that
Yeah.
naturally meant I prefer to hang out with boys. They like the things that I like. My favorite movie had nothing to do with the princess. It had to do with the little giants. Okay, I wanted to see the Cowboys beat the hell out of the little giants, truth be told.
Word. Hey,
And it just
you should, that movie went
so that
hard.
was
Yeah.
it. Like that was me growing up. I was like, Mom. She's like, do you want dolls and stuff? I'm like, no. What I need you to do is go get the little faux football outfit that comes in a box. It had the jersey, it had the pants, it had a little plastic
Yeah.
helmet with a football. That's what I wanted. So it's always been sports and kicks, and
Yeah.
it just never changed. It stayed the same. Like I was the person where I would only get a few kicks a year, of course, because parents wasn't out here dishing out money like that.
Okay, I
But
got
when
you.
I
Yeah.
got them, took care of them. I was that person on a Saturday cleaning all my kicks, had the toothbrush, had the Dawn soap and everything. I'm just
Yeah.
watching cartoons or watching football all day, cleaning my sneakers off. My mom, I'd be like, hey, you got some shoes you need clean too? Just drop them all off in the room. I'll let you know when they done. So that was really me. Like I enjoy doing all of that, and it just continued on as I got older.
Word up. So I guess I'm gonna say I want to say let's say like high school. Like what was your sneaker game like in high school?
High school, I didn't go, so I wasn't the person that skipped class to go buy retros. That just wasn't happening. I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to get snatched up. I didn't want to get buried in those retros I skipped school for
Yeah, you damn right.
that
Yeah.
day. That wasn't happening, but I would always I would get like a clean pair of usually like two pairs of shoes. So it was usually like either Air Force One or I would get some all white like Reeboks. Like I don't know why people think I've only ever worn Nikes. I'll get some all white Reeboks or something. But I
Yeah.
focused more heavily on what athletic kicks would I get for the season. Because that's what I cared about the most. What basketball shoes am I getting for the season? What am I getting for track? And so I would usually focus more on that. And then around the holidays, it would be a Jordan or it would be an Iverson, or my mom would be like, listen, you got to make a decision. The basketball season is in the winter. You're only getting one higher end shoe that's $100. So I was like, bet the Iverson. I was like, I need the answer. I need his face in the sole of the shoe.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's all you're getting. I said, that's all I need. I don't need anything else. So basketball season is usually the time where I would try to show out. And then around Christmas, it would always be, hey, let's get some fits to go with your kicks. Or I'll never forget like the Jordan 9, the low that I got. Oh, I was so in love with that all white shoe. Like I was in heaven when she bought me that.
Dang. So so in high school you were I guess you played basketball and you were like ran track and shit like that?
I did basketball. I ran track. I was what did I get? It was like the stellar. I didn't feel like I was the top athlete in my class because I ran with people that went to state and actually won state or placed in state. But yeah, I did basketball. I ran track. I originally ran track only to stay in shape for basketball season, just so
Okay.
I could not lose it because that's what happens during
Yeah.
that long off period. So I would go from basketball, work out with the football team during the off season for weights and conditioning, and then jump right into track.
All right. So you've been, I guess, on the active fitness, taking care of yourself side of the game since shit, teenage years, right?
I've had that since I was little. I went to the academy I went to. We still had recess because they believed in kids being active all the way through 8th grade. So we still had recess. And so
Yeah.
every day you would go out and we had this huge open field. And so we had our cliques, and it was like my clique. We had my team of 4, and it was like another group of 4. We played football every single day, like clockwork. It did not matter. Every day, teachers are like, "It's too cold. You need to put your coat on, ma'am." I can't throw a spiral with the coat on. That's not happening. I'm not taking this L on this field. So this
Yeah.
hoodie is going to have to do. That's just what it is. So I've always been into sports. I wanted to play football as I got older, but my mom had to explain boys change at a different rate than girls. So you're going to develop one way and the boys are going to get, stronger and they're going to purposely try to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, we good. My mom was like, we're not dealing with this. So you're not playing football in high school.
Damn. So in high school, were you like the girl that stood out in a way because, you know, like you had your own style, like you said, when you was like a kid and coming up in high school, as far as like the sneakers and like, you know, not being the girly girl, but did you like did you stand out in a way? Like did you have like I guess like other homegirls that were like you, or you were like kind of like
So
one?
I stood out for being I stood out for always being the nerd in class.
Okay.
That's one thing. Like I was the nerd in class that was still considered cool enough to hang out with everybody. So it would be, you know, we don't know answer. We'll just go ask TJ. I'm pretty sure she knows it. So
Yeah.
I would be that person. I always hung around still. Like majority of my friends have just always been guys. They listen. It's just easier to be around them. There was less drama. You could cap on each other, and they didn't take it personal.
Yeah.
You know, you could talk sports with them. Like I don't want to sit here and talk about the everyday mundane girl things. Listen, I didn't wear makeup then. I don't wear it now. That didn't appeal to me. We want to talk about the game last night. Let's talk about why your team was trash. Let's talk about why they couldn't cover over top. That's what I would
tough
say.
ass.
So for real, tell me why you couldn't cover over top. I mean, we had pools and stuff when it came to sports and picking teams. So yeah, I was always hanging out with the guys. So I was just that girl that would hang out with the guys. Didn't even like I had consistent boyfriends when I was in school, but I was just always hanging out with the guys. So they'd be like, "Oh, TJ, yeah, you can just go find her. Just look for the athletic one, or yeah, the smart one in class." Like that was I became known as the really smart athletic person.
Okay. And you said that you had like boyfriends in high school and all that shit, right?
Yeah, no, I still had them. All regrets, but I still had them.
Okay. Because I asked that because usually on the outside looking in, people would assume, okay, well,
Oh yeah,
she's not really
you
the
get
girly
that.
girl.
You get
You
that.
know what I
Trust me.
mean? People be like,
I had a good friend ask the other day. He's like, so I have to know how he was like, how much do you get hit on, or is it assumed that you are gay? Because that is a question I'll get, or guys will comment on my videos, especially here on YouTube.
yeah,
Dude, is she gay? And it's first off, I do to troll them back. I'm like, what relevance does that have to the actual content that you are watching? A shoe is a shoe. Just find out about the shoe and you can make a decision. It should not matter to me. We're in 2020. If you're still hung up on that, move on past it. I could care less what somebody's sexual preferences, race, or anything. Religion doesn't matter to me.
neither.
But no, I am not. I know there's this stigma that, oh, if you still dress very tomboyish, you have to be gay. No, I simply just choose to be comfortable. Don't get mad at me because I look better than you in your own clothes. I'm simply not choosing you. That's all that is.
Yeah,
like, no,
that's
so
right.
very much so not gay. Into men, even though they can be a hell of a frustration. But no,
okay. Oh snap! Hey. So I want to ask. Well, this next question, I think I can actually skip it because it was like, what made you get into fitness? And I think you pretty much already told me that. You know what I mean? Like coming up, shit, you was into sports and all that stuff,
yeah,
right?
I was into sports. Now, in terms of actual lifting weight, so that didn't start until my sophomore year in high school. I really just did like I was like first off, people think I'm bigger. Like pictures are they trick you. Okay, everything looks bigger online. When you actually get in person, I'm small. I'm like a buck 20, 126. So
yeah, how tall are you?
Big. I'm not big at all. I'm 5'6".
5'6". Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not big at all, but I was very scrappy on defense. I preferred to play defense outside of offense. And I just knew me trying to always get an upper hand on somebody, I could get knocked around easily. So I went to our football coach like, hey, I need to do something. I got to build strength somehow. He's like, fine, sign up for strength and conditioning. It's after basketball season. You should be good to go. And the second I did that and started lifting, I loved it. There's a power that comes from executing a lift, whether it's deadlift, squat, push jerk, clean and jerk, all of that. And once I developed that and realized I was decently good or decently strong for my size, I just kept going. So I would sign up every year because he would change the name of the course every year so his athletes could continue to take it. So we were like, bet, we're just going to keep taking it, even though we technically got credit for it. And it just never stopped. It never stopped from there. So now I enjoy lifting and working out because it's part of what feels good.
Word up. So why did you, or I guess what made you start your YouTube channel? And the fact, let me add this, that you are almost at 12K.
I am, yeah.
Almost, because I checked it out. Like, damn, she almost shit. She hopefully after this, you be already at damn 12K at the end of this interview and shit. And
Probably. Respect to everybody that's subbing. Respect. I appreciate it.
yeah. And I think you made a post that you would hit like 1 million views, right?
Yeah, so during lockdown has been cool for me for the channel.
Yeah.
So during lockdown, April 4th or 5th, I hit 10K. And then just recently, I think it was May 17th, I hit 1 million views. Just before that, I hit 600 uploads. And this has all roughly been in about 2 years. So I originally started back, I think it was 2016 or something maybe. And it was just straight finance. It was all I was talking about, really. And when you're first starting out, right, you don't get a whole lot of people that tune in. You learn that, but I was still passionate about talking about money, so I made my videos, and then I stopped. I took time off. In 2017, I wrote my budgeting ebook, thanks to a friend who pushed me. She's like, listen, you helped me manage my money better. I think a lot of other people, especially young adults, would benefit from this. I think you should go ahead and do, put it down, pen to paper. So I wrote the book in about 2 weeks or so. It's a short read, about 42 pages. Got it done. I let everybody know on Twitter. I think that first night I sent out well over 50 copies or something. So it's free. I just send it out via email to people. And then I would have these long drawn out discussions with people on Twitter about managing their money and budgeting, because people would always say, hey, I don't get how you can buy all these shoes, but you don't seem to stress about bills and anything else. And I'm like, well, I still have them. I have all the bills you have. Like I've taken care of myself since I graduated grad school. So I have all of that. I just budget. I plan for my money. But I had to remember, even as a finance major, we didn't learn that in school. We went over one personal finance course in college for undergrad. That was it. Everything else is about corporate finance. It's about accounting, cost accounting, managerial finance. That's it. And so I saw the gap there, and I'm like, okay, maybe I could start doing videos. Maybe that would go a little bit better. And my girl Lexi was like, listen, you 100% need to just start a channel. Young adults will tune in more to a 5 to 10 minute video about how to manage money versus reading a book. So everybody doesn't learn by reading. So I said, all right, I'm gonna change it. I decided to revamp everything. I didn't want it to be just about budgeting and finance, because that's not what I am. Like, I talk about kicks all day. I live and breathe that. What's coming out? What's new? What's the new tech for running? What's the new tech in a Metcon for workouts? And that's when I combined it. So I said, I'm just going to name it Talks with TJ. I can talk about whatever I want, whether it's money, whether it's shoes, whether it's life. And once it took off and people started to like it, I was like, hey, let's just run with it. And that's kind of been it ever since.
Word, yeah. So one thing I noticed is that there are only a handful of female sneaker YouTubers. Why do you think it's like that?
I know, based on the different things I experience day to day. I think there is less care for how you approach or critique or say something to someone when you're commenting on a video on YouTube versus on Instagram. On Instagram, people are much more likely to have their actual profile, who they are, linked on Instagram when they may be commenting or talking about it, right? Like, let's put it for example, when guys that are taken will try to slide into girls' DMs, she can kind of do she can reverse and do the research and figure out, like, dude, you're either married, you're dating somebody, didn't you just post happy anniversary to her? Like, so they can figure out who that guy is. You can't do that on YouTube. You can be totally anonymous, which means people that are very confident and comfortable behind a keyboard can say all manner of things against you. And if you don't have the wherewithal to not take it personal, to not disassociate from it, to not detach from it, I think it hits hard for people, and especially for women, because we're already doubted. There's doubt in a big way. You're questioned in a big way about, do you really know the shoe, or are you just up here because it's going to get you views or because you're attractive? So I think a lot of women, they realize that's a lane I don't have to go into to still be creative in sneakers. I mean, women on Instagram, they blow up, they take over, they're part of major campaigns. They don't ever have to actually step in front of a camera if they don't want to. So I think that's part of the reason they understand that there's a lot that comes with it, and it can be unnecessary drama, stress, you being personally attacked. Not to say that you should take it personal. I really don't. I don't think you should take any of it that's said with a grain of salt. But if you know deep down that's something you don't want to deal with, because the comments will come, like you and I know, the comments come and they can be very illogical. You just have to ignore them. So I think a lot of women, they shy away from it. They don't even bother with it.
Bet. And you are, it's like, I would love to see more females do. I mean, because like when you look at Instagram, like there's females everywhere. Like I follow a bunch everywhere, but like when it comes to like actually wanting to either like sit down and like see a female, a woman, a lady, whatever, just talk about sneakers and make videos, it's very few in between. You know what I mean?
It's very few. But here's the other part about it: whether you're a man or a woman, people that say they want to do well in this game, and who necessarily defines doing well, right? For some, doing well is consistent growth. For others, doing well or success in this is it is your actual, career. You are paid pretty much a salary to make videos, to be creative on this platform.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of ambition, effort, consistency, lonely nights, a lot of editing when you're tired, you don't want to be social, you don't want to be in front of this camera. Those are a lot of things people don't want to actually go through. So even if a lot of women start a sneaker channel, to continue to do this, like that, I've seen men complain, I'm going to quit. I've seen men post videos, I'm going to quit. This just isn't working. You're right. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's not for you. Because I think people also assume, so I'm looking kind of at the chat here. So somebody said, what do my parents think about me being a sneaker YouTuber or being a YouTuber? This is not my full-time job. Like, I have a career. I work from home right now. So what you guys don't see is like my whole setup for work. So I work from home and I have an actual career. It's behind the scenes analyzing for sales. I advise salespeople on moves they need to make to be successful. So YouTube is not my career. I part-time manage Kids Foot Locker because I have the time to do it. I have less and less time now because I do YouTube more and more. But no, like this is my career. I'm very passionate about it, which means I put in the time. I do almost a video a day. I average about 5 videos a week. Try doing that and then try adding editing onto it. There are some that just get in front of the camera, they talk, they literally, and this is not a knock towards anybody, this is a shot at anybody, but they pick up the shoe, they show you the shoe, they talk, they show you it on foot, and then they're done. And that's it. Once you get into actual editing, that takes time. A 10-minute video usually will take you about 3 hours when you're editing.
Exactly. Now, I like what you said, like that like how I am Skip Goes Hard. To me, I'm turning on the camera. I'm getting in front of it. Show the shoe. I'm gonna be me.
Right.
I'm gonna be Skip Goes Hard, and then after that, I'm gonna do it on foot, and then after that, I'm gonna edit it. And my edit might take like maybe like 2-3 minutes, and then I'm putting it up. You know what I mean? But I like that you said it because there are like, and not just sneaker YouTubers, more like content creators on YouTube. How everybody has their own style of making their videos. Like I said, me, my editing is not going to take hours like somebody else's editing. Right. You know what I mean? Like everybody is different. So one thing a lot of people need to understand is that, hey, you can get into this damn I don't want to even say sneaker YouTube game. You can get into the YouTube game, but you have to pretty much how am I trying to say it? Pretty much make whatever you're gonna do, just pretty much like have fun. And I forgot what the hell I was going to say, man. God,
for me, okay, so I'll just say what I think it needs to be. If you want to do this, it truly needs to be kind of second nature. Whatever it is you're speaking on, you're presenting in front of somebody, it needs to be second nature. It needs to be as easy as breathing. Whatever, it has to be that way. Because if not, once this becomes forced, once this becomes something that you feel is an obligation to do and the fun is gone, you're not going to want to get up here. You're not. Like before this, so I had a break between what I needed to do for work today. I had to film B-roll. I had to take pictures. I had to film commentary. And now I still need to edit all of that. I have to do the video for Friday. I have to prepare what I want to do for Saturday. Like it's different. It's all going to be how you approach it. Like most people don't know. My content is planned out through outside of pickups in 2021 because I don't know what I'm buying yet.
Yeah.
my content is planned for at least 3 videos a week through the first half of 2021. So I'm not currently thinking about this week. Like, I'm thinking about what is it I'm going to bring in the future. I know that that's different. That makes me very weird. That's not a common thing that's going to happen for a lot of content creators. But you need to think along those lines. You have to think bigger picture. You have to think long term. If you really think you're going to make it in this, you can't be soft. You can't be softer than your ambition. Like, you can't say, I want to get to somewhere. Like, to get to where a Jock is, a Tony is, a Bull is, there's time that's put in. There's also a reason why a lot of them will have editors that help work on the side. Like, your videos become 20% of you being in front of the camera, and then if you do a lot of editing, it's 80% editing. So let's do the math. If I hire an editor and they can take away that 80%, oh, that's more time. If I'm the person that's making the content, that's more time for me to be in front of the camera. That's more content. That's more production that's going out there. There's more chance for growth. So that's why when you see these people get to this point where they can hire on editors, it's because they know that what they bring, it's sustainable. So they don't have to be the ones doing all the work.
Big facts. Big facts. And I'm glad, like, everybody watching this and they're in want to get into this game. What you just said, like, oh, you hit that shit like right on the head, man. Good grief, TJ. Damn. Good grief. So, do you think that women in the sneaker community need to woman up and stop complaining about how things are not fair? Looking at us.
I feel that way. I'm not gonna lie. I feel that way about everybody. Like, period.
Okay.
Like, that's just me in general in life, because I had to learn over the course of, as I've gotten older, like once I hit 30, just a lot changed. And you know, complain about what? So very little is actually within our control. Like, if you look at your whole entire day of the way it's structured, how you live it, so very much is so very little is actually in control. You know, you can control. So what am I complaining about? What, gravity for? I can't change it. There are some things I can't change. So whether it's life, whether it's kicks, there's some things I don't put a lot of energy into. If a brand wants to come out and say, here's this fire shoe, or whether it's a colorway, it's a collaboration, it's a style, and we're going to make it men only. It sucks, but I'm not going to harp on it. I'm just going to move on, because it's not like I have a direct path to walk into the Nike kitchen. Like, listen, you guys are screwing me over. You're not allowing me access to the shoe and my sizing. I can't get a single Derek Jeter Jordan in my size. They don't make them in my size. Do you know how disheartening that is when that is your favorite athlete of all time and you can?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Nothing. Like, I'll probably go back and pick up the Flyknit 1 because it runs a little bit small, so I can probably get away with wearing a 7, but I don't complain about it. So I know women are upset. Listen, men, they've had decades, they've had years on us in this game. I get it. Like, Adidas was started back in like 1945 or 48. So they've had years. They marketed to men. Women, I will say this. I know that brands that are listening, they're paying attention. I know Nike is trying to change the landscape, the conversation. Like, they're trying to hone in on women. I know this from 2 different sources. They're trying to hone in on women. It's coming, but we just have to focus on our energy on what we can control. Just don't complain. Like, that's just my thing. The complaining gets you nowhere. I literally will tell my salespeople when they come to me, don't bring me problems. Bring me the solution you want, and we can move ahead.
Don't bring problems, bring solutions. Exactly. Because there are, like, you know, some women will get upset where guys are buying, you know, like women's releases and stuff like that. And what I think about, like, look, the damn the UNC to Chicago's, the women's release, like the all leather ones.
Yeah.
I feel that the only way a woman should be upset at me buying that shoe is if I'm taking her size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, how can you get mad at me for liking this shoes? Like, it's not my fault Nike whatever decided to make a colorway that fire in a Jordan 1 and I like it. Like, that's not my fault. Like, the only way, lady, if you can get mad at me is if you can wear a size 11 in men's. Then I understand why you want to jack me up. Other than that,
so at that point, it's almost the WNBA players or just the abnormally tall women should get mad about that. Yeah. I don't get mad about that. And here's my thing: in life, we say we want fairness, we say we want equality. So for so long, we've worn men's shoes. For so long, if a shoe came in our size, we bought it regardless of what the designation was, whether it was a men's or women's shoe. So
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that. Now I get women can be mad if it's her size. So let's say a guy, there's a women's only shoe. The guy doesn't even go for his size, maybe he can't fit it, but he's gonna get that women's 5 just so he can then flip it and resell it to a woman at a really big markup.
Exactly.
I get it then. That
Me
part
too.
I get. I get
Me
the
too.
frustration
I
there. I get it. That's valid frustration. But when I have guys that come and they come to me and they say, hey, listen, this shoe is coming out. Don't be mad at me, but I'm going for it. It's just a women's shoe. They're like, listen, I got little feet. I can fit that shoe. Bet, go for it. Style it up. Do it justice. I'm not going to be mad about that. I will be mad if you sit here and take a girl size women 6 and you can't fit it, but you're just going to try to upsell it to her when she was 170 and now you're trying to get $300 out of her. That's kind of
exactly.
shiesty to me.
Yeah.
That's shiesty, but again, it's just part of the game. I'm not going to complain about it because it is what it is. You can't always change it.
Exactly. So I have some other questions. I'm gonna skip it for right now, then we're gonna come back to it. But what is your grail sneaker and grail? Because I like to say, what's your grail sneaker and your grail Jordan that you do not have?
So grail sneaker, like the sneaker that's the epitome of everything for me.
Yeah, like for you.
That's for me. That's hands down the Air Max 1, the OG, the red and white.
Okay,
like that right there. To want to be that innovative, like who in the hell was Tinker to put a visible air unit in? So being told he was probably going to get fired for that. I mean, he took that, he ran with it, and look at everything we have now. I mean, we pretty much have a national holiday for sneakers from that. So it's the Air Max 1 OG, the OG, the red and white. Now I don't have the actual OG one. I have the Air Max Day. So I have the anniversary one that has 326 on the tongue. I'm actually quite happy about that.
On the tongue. Yeah, I have.
I'm happy about that. It has the date on the tongue. I recently, on the low, acquired another Air Max 1 Grail that's just kind of sitting back there chilling. And then Jordan Grail of all time that I don't have. That's going to be the Bread 1. So I had the 2013 Bread 1. I got it for a steal. I don't know what the person was doing, but I was grateful to get it. But the 2013 was so uncomfortable. The leather was hard. It was just terrible. And so I actually traded that through the Trade Block app, and I actually traded that for the New Balance Bodega No Bad Days 997S. I traded that. Collaboration is fire. I wanted it, couldn't get it. So I traded that shoe away. So to have the 2016 Bread 1 in my hands in my collection would be everything. So that's the Grail Jordan that I don't have. Really want. I know you got it. I know you got it. I already know you have it. That's what I want, hands down. If we're talking like collab that I don't have, that's a Jordan that I desperately want. I know I'm gonna treat myself to one day. That has to be the Union 1, the Storm Blue.
Okay, yeah. I can see. Yeah, you be fresh in up there. Them hoes hard.
They hard, and they are about $1,200.
Yeah, $1,200 good dollars. Damn it.
$1,200 good dollars. So when these good student loans are paid off, then we'll go ahead and make that
happen. Yeah. Damn, man. So you know what? I have a question.
Go ahead.
What are, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but what, TJ, what are your DMs like? And do you have any interesting stories? I know you got some shit. Hey, if you got to explain something but cut some stuff out, hey, I get it. But
what are my DMs like? Listen, male friends, male associates that are just platonic friends. I feel like they get a laugh at my expense over my DMs. I'll never forget. I forgot what picture I posted.
Yeah.
Showman Bostic was teasing the hell out of me. He was like, "What tonight?" I mean, so my DMs. So here's the blessing of Instagram.
Yeah.
A lot of them get filtered to request, which means you don't know that I've seen the message, and I can delete it without it really being seen. Right? It's kind of a hide from the read receipt. That's a blessing because I don't know why guys think putting the "Hey, what's up? You're cute. you're offering absolutely nothing of value with that starter.
Ain't talking about shit.
I've gotten MLA essays, letting me know how awesome I am, and I appreciate it. Like, it really just depends. If the dude comes very, very respectful, I'll respectfully let you know, hey, appreciate it, but not interested. Like, I'm not interested in anyone. Happy, single, living my life. I'm not interested in anyone. But the DMs are, they're interesting. Men will have full out conversations like with themselves. Like, you can never respond, but they'll keep responding. They'll keep responding. Like, there's a phantom person that's responding back, and I'm like, you are a special kind of interesting.
Hell no.
Just like, I haven't responded once to you, but you keep at it. I like that. I like the perseverance.
Hey, that's crazy.
They try. I mean, I will say this: the more you grow, the bigger you grow on these platforms, the more wild they can get.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just say you laugh it off. It's entertainment. I'll say that.
That shit crazy. Have you ever had like any haters? You know what I mean? Like anybody who just be like, look at her. Who does she think she is? Yeah, look at that.
Oh my god. I've gotten that since I was younger, right? Like, I mean, that's just the honest to goodness truth. Growing up, you think you're this because you have long hair. You think you're this because you're light skinned. You think you're this. You think you're that. And I'm just like,
not to cut you off. So, your mom and dad, what was it? Black and white and black?
I'm Black and Native American.
Like, oh, okay. You see, I'm glad because I would assume that, hey, your dad's black, mom's white. You know what I mean? Because I know people would assume that.
Nope, I filled out my census for 2020 and I checked black.
Word. So you said Black and Native American?
Yep.
Word. So who's what?
Both parents are black, but my dad was Black and Native American. His dad, biological dad, black, and then mom, Native American.
Okay. You see, hey, like I said,
yeah,
I'm glad I'm doing this.
People do assume. I think it's they don't know because, right, like my hair texture gets extremely straight. So I no joke. I've been at an IHOP before, and this white guy goes, "Well, you must just lay out in the sun all day, huh? Just tan." And I'm like, "Oh, you think I'm just white with really tan skin? Oh no, sir, I'm black. Sorry to burst your bubble."
Yeah. Oh snap! Yeah, you see, hey,
listen. We're coming out of winter. Okay, my face doesn't have color. All the rest of me is a little bit darker. All the rest of me is a little bit darker. People just want to say, "Oh man, like, are you feeling okay?" Listen, light skinned people just get really light in the winter. Okay, we're not sick or anything.
Oh snap! I would assume. I was like, yeah, because I was gonna ask you because I was gonna be like, TJ, you look like as if your dad is white and your mom is black. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, when I think of you, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, her mom is probably like black and her dad's probably white. But no, both parents are black.
Both black.
Hey, shit. There we go, man. I'm glad I asked that, I'm glad you shared that because, like I said, man, the people who don't know would assume anything. You know what I mean? Good.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, I've gotten that in terms of haters. Early on when I started my channel, most people don't know this. Like, I had to hide somebody from my channel because they would do like these long essay responses on my channel of how I was wrong or I was lying. Like, I did a whole video series where I paid off the Mercedes I had before it got totaled, thanks to somebody not paying attention. How I was making extra payments on them, to get it paid off sooner.
Exactly.
And somebody was like, well, clearly based on all of this money that you claim to be spending, you have to be, what did they say, like making $12K a month, or you easily cross like $12K a month. And I was just like, first off, can we get the IRS involved? Where is the robbery occurring then? Who is claiming said income if you think you just know that I'm getting that amount per month? Because I'm not, but I would surely like to if that's the case. If you think that's what I have. So
he was talking about getting 12K a month through YouTube?
No, just period. Like,
just in general.
Just thought that I had to earn 12K a month because who was I to sit up here and lie and say, yeah, you can pay an extra $500 towards this and still take care of yourself and your cost of living must be what? And I'm just like, you're making a whole lot of assumptions to know a whole lot of nothing. But
motherfuckers assuming. That's what we're talking about. People who
you
assume.
you assume. Like, stop making these assumptions. If you were to ask, first off, I'm not going to disclose what I make, but
Yeah.
it's very much so possible to still pay extra on something or on a debt and live your life. Like, that's what's called not living literally beyond your means. You can do that.
Exactly.
I know it seems like rocket science, but you can do that. But yeah, you get haters. It's, I don't know. People will either try or flex on you on try to dispel whatever you're saying in a video. And
Yeah.
I've learned now from my guy friends, they're saying, like, listen, they really just want you to respond back to them. They'll say anything stupid just to get you to respond. And I was like, all right, bet. If that's the approach people want to take, you get a thumbs up now on my comments and YouTube, and that means cool story, bro. I'm not giving you any energy. So if you ever look through my comments and you see just the thumbs up, just know it was a cool story, bro. And I'm not about to expound on this. You just seem like you need attention, and I'm not the one. Like, there are babysitters out there that will give you attention. I'm not the one.
And we, this is, oh man, I'm having a blast, TJ. Good grief! Look, we hit the 40-minute mark in the interview. Skip Goes Hard talks with TJ. So I'm gonna throw it to the chat. Anybody in the chat who has a question for Talks with TJ, let it be known. Give it. Go ahead.
Somebody asked, do I do bodybuilding shows? I don't. I associate with quite a few people that do. I know that whole world. I know that whole scene. Because I was very much so into the fitness online, I guess, Instagram scene and YouTube. I just don't do it. But no, I don't. There's a whole world of competing. You guys don't know. For women, it's actually not always the best because the level of leanness you have to get down to really place and it be worth your while. It's taxing. It's taxing emotionally, physically. There's a lot that goes into it. So no, I don't compete. I support quite a few people that do compete, but no, I don't compete. I work out because it's part of who I am.
Yep.
Can you play basketball? Are we talking about play for length of time right now? I'm hella out of shape when it comes to being on a court. Yes, I can play. So I played all through high school. And I played, I made it through the terrible part of when you first go to college and you play ball. I played for Division III school because I got pretty much my scholarship for academic, and that's all it can be for D3. It's all academic, so they just get really smart, athletic kids that couldn't play at higher levels to come play for them. And I went through the 5 a.m. workouts, the sprints, the lifting, all of that terribleness, and then I broke my hand the first official week in practice in October, so I couldn't play. I could only play, I think, a little bit end of my season. I worked hard all off season. I worked hard all off season to try to come back. I mean, I was on the blacktop, sweating my butt off, trying to come back, playing against the guy I was dating at the time because he was a former D1 athlete. So I'm like busting ass, trying to prove myself. And then we got just the worst coach of all time, where my whole recruiting class was like, deuces, it's been real. We're all getting paid to get good grades, so we're out. And I finally was like, why? It got to the point I hated going to practice. And I was that person that loved practice. And I hated going to practice. And I was like, you know what? I have to walk away. Like, this isn't who I am. I don't have to have my whole identity wrapped up in the fact that I play basketball. So I finally just walked away. And I realized all the free time that non-athletes have. It's hella free time. So, yeah, I did play. I like to shoot around every now and again. I just don't really have the time to right now.
Let me see.
Do I have any advice for younger sneakerheads on how to convince your parents to get you shoes because they think it's a complete waste of money? I think you have to look at it from your parents' perspective. So, I mean, the average cost to have to take care of and have a child is about an additional $1,000 a month when you look at adding them to your health insurance, transporting them here and there, food, clothes, everything else they could need. It's a lot. It's a lot on parents already. So if you're a kid trying to convince your parents about it, first off, you got to take care of business. Your grades need to be top notch. That's your first bargaining chip. I'm not saying you got to be an all A student, but A's and B's, you have to be up there. You have to start taking away the excuses your parents are going to throw at you of why you're not getting good grades at school. You're not focused in school. Okay, bet. Here's my report card. You see the A's and B's. You don't help out around home. Go to your parents and be proactive. What do you need done around the house? Like, I've had to tell a kid this because she was whining and complaining mom wouldn't buy this for her at a kid's Foot Locker. I'm like, doesn't your mom do enough for you already? Like, you're not obligated. I see shoes on your feet, so she's not obligated to be here to buy you something you don't need. She's doing it out of the kindness of her heart, but you need to make that appealing to your parents. So you need to make sure the grades are on point. Be proactive around the house. Your parents are tired. They work and then they come home. They take care of you. They take care of that house. Take away something they don't have to do.
Exactly.
Like, take away something they don't have to do. Make your parents' life easier, and they're more willing to dish out extra money for the shoe that you think that you need, but you really don't need.
Yeah. What sneaker would you design to swoosh?
Two swoosh. He's probably saying, I do have two swoosh. Do you see Nike caught on? He got the two swoosh t-shirts.
Hey, this shirt hard though. This shirt hard.
Y'all can find those at Foot Locker. What shoe would I design? Ooh. I'm not gonna lie. I would probably design an Air Max 1 collaboration with Sacai.
Landon.
I would probably.
That's the homie Landon right there.
I thought you could.
Hey, them hoes are good, Landon, especially with mustard and relish. Look at that.
On the grill? Yeah, listen, I'm hitting somebody's barbecue up. I don't really care. I'm hitting somebody's barbecue up. Yeah, I would, because I'm in love. I'm still salty. I didn't get to Sky Waffle again this year. Okay, I tried. I had friends on standby. Y'all knew y'all jobs, the colors, and the size you needed to go for, and it just didn't happen for me. I love just, again, the double swoosh. I love the way it's layered, everything about it. So I would actually do an Air Max 1 and a Sacai collaboration. So you probably have double everything on Air Max 1.
Shit. Those are hard, too.
What sneaker made me start collecting? The Concord 11. So growing up, I'm not going to say idolized. A very important role model in my life. Her name was Crystal Young. She was a stellar star athlete. At Benedictine High School. She was actually ranked 5th in the state for basketball. She went on to play at University of Toledo. She was number 22. I took that number 22. That's why I actually have it tattooed on my ankle. And her uncle would get her every single retro that came out. I mean, like, no joke. Like, before he bought his pair, he secured her pair. And I'll never forget one time, her mom, her uncle, her grandma all bought her the same retro. Like, none of them communicated. And they all bought her the same retro. But I went over her grandma's house one day to hang out with her. And she had the Concord 11, and I was just like, I'm like, is that patent leather? What is it? That was it. That was it. I went home like, Mom, I can't get rid of the shoes I have now. I gotta keep them, and I gotta improve on every shoe that I get. So she looked at me like, do you see the price of that? We gonna work on that, Mom. We gonna work on it. See, I had a bargaining chip. I was a 4.3 student in high school. I had a bargaining chip. She knew.
Oh, hell yeah.
She could never come at me with the grays thing. He's like, I do all my chores, I save my money, they still say no. So you might have to do more of a, you might have to negotiate with them. You might have to offer up half the money for the shoe. A lot of kids do that in terms of they want a car and their parents say, I'm not buying you a car. If you save up half the money, I'll front the other half. That may be what you have to do. So let's say, and I'm not somebody that wears them, but let's say there's a Yeezy, because I know they're usually going to be about $220. There's a Yeezy you want. Save $110 plus whatever tax will be. Go, Mom or Dad, I got the $110. It's right here. Will you put up the other $110? Now, you may just have to get to the point where you save all of your money if you pay the full cost of the shoe. Now, at that point, it may be your parents don't understand the value of it, and you may have to put down, if you hold that shoe, the profit that could be on it long term. You may have to take that angle.
Yep.
Wes, Wes, he said it's too short. Yes, we are, Wes. You already know. Listen, guys, Wes is one of the most loyal, amazing supporters ever. Wes is putting together a crib. He was frustrated today. He's having his first child, his little daughter. So he was up here representing. How long do you see yourself doing YouTube? Well, because the channel is Talks with TJ, I could certainly transition it to whatever I would want to. Long term, it wouldn't have to be just sneakers. I imagine sneakers would always be in it. I can see myself doing it quite a while because I don't want to be just a sneaker YouTuber. That's why I didn't structure my channel to revolve around sneaker vlogs and just pickups. I would love to be that story. If you've ever seen Foot Locker's hashtag because sneakers, I'm able to connect with different people. So whether it's doing YouTube or I'm hosting full out budgeting money management seminars that connects with young adults, and they can see me and understand. It's not just somebody that's in their 50s or 60s in a college course that may not get it. They may not understand. You still want to treat yourself and enjoy life, but you do want to take care of other things as well. That's what I hope to do. So I'll probably be doing this a whole long while. I mean, I'm pretty young at this point, right? I'm 30, so.
Shit, get it.
Do I encourage anybody to continue to earn their education? If the ROI makes sense, for a lot of people these days, it doesn't make sense. And I say that because I see people that you can go into sales, because sales usually doesn't have a ceiling of what they can earn or make. You can make $100K a year and only have a high school diploma. When you look at college, let's look at secondary education. And oh God, I can't think of his name. There's a great creator. I just found him on YouTube. He's amazing. I think he's based in the UK. He's blowing up like insanely. He does documentary style videos. He actually did a whole video on the fact that secondary education is more so a business these days, right? You as the student, you're kind of just like the customer. And that paper is just a product you're paying a really high price for. Now, most people don't know, I was a college admissions counselor. It was my job to sell you on coming to the school. Did every kid need to come and pay $30,000, $40,000 a year to attend? No, because you're not going to necessarily make that back. Now, if you want to go get your degree for engineering in the medical field, to be a lawyer, to be an accountant, if there are fields where I need you to know all the technical aspects, please go get the degree. Okay, I don't want you doing my taxes and you don't know what's going on. I don't want you defending me in court and you get me sent away for a long time. I'm just saying, I need you to know. I don't need you to guess if you know how to do a surgery. I need you to know how the surgery is supposed to flow. So there are certain professions that degree is necessary. For a lot of others, it's not. Like, I'll say this, I have a bachelor's in finance and I have a master's in sustainable business administration. For people that want to go into business, a lot of times, just go work at an actual business.
Yeah.
Go sit here and start by volunteering your time when you're young, work your way into an actual position and learn a business, learn how to run it. They don't really go through all that in school. Like, I'm just gonna be real. You learn to regurgitate information. Memorize the book. You can pass all your classes. It doesn't mean you know how to apply it. And you learn that in the capstone course. Like our capstone class for business, you had this extensive project. You had to pitch a whole new, I don't know, I forgot if it was like a marketing plan. You had to do the financial part of it. You found out who just regurgitated information and who could actually apply it, because those people contributed absolutely nothing to the final project and they barely graduated. So I advise you, look at the bigger picture. Why are you going back to school? What is the expected salary you're going to make? What effect is that going to have on your actual lifestyle, like your way of life, being able to retire at whatever age you want to retire? And then what's going to be the capital injection? Are you taking out loans? Because if you're taking out loans for it, then no. There are only really two professions that can pay down high student loans, and that's a doctor and that's a lawyer. They still have to live like a broke college student the first few years to pay it off in a reasonable time. Yep. So you got to look at the ROI of it going back to continue your education is worth it. Man, I'm just asking, does she have a man? She does not. She does not.
She ain't got no man looking at.
She does not. She does not.
Chilling.
Great Lives, 23. My question: what is your favorite sneaker of all time? Air Max 1. Air Max 1 all time. If you the red and white, royal blue and white, and the obsidian.
Let me see. Oh, I got another one.
What do you like more, getting the outfit for the sneaker or getting the shoe? I'm guessing he doesn't think the shoe itself. As I've progressed, having it all come together, actually, like having it all come together as one. Now, of course, getting the shoe is difficult. It's very difficult, even working at a sneaker store. It's difficult. Like, I'm just gonna let y'all know right now, I don't think these Flints gonna be that easy. I'm just being real with you from talking to people. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I think some of y'all gonna be crying on Saturday. I'm just being real.
They better. Hey. If we talk about them damn Flip 13s, I was like, look.
Listen, get ready for the shook faces for people's thumbnails come Saturday. The whole did they sell out? Yes, they sold out. I don't know why y'all be making these videos.
Man, I'm so glad you brought that up. God, dog, man.
Yes, they're going to sell out. Yes, they're going to sell out. And if they don't sell out, who cares?
Exactly.
Who doesn't sell out unless if you hold such a significant stock in Nike or Jordan or Adidas that your actual income is affected by not selling out, then I get it. You have a reason to care. If that's not the case, and that's not the case for none of y'all up here, none of us up here, who cares if the shoe sits?
I don't give a damn.
Who cares?
As long as I get the shoe I want.
It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, putting the fit together, because I'll see different things I'm inspired by, and then I'll try to tailor it to what really fits me. Do you know how to play a musical instrument? So when I was younger, I went to an academy that highly dealt with connecting the left and right sides of your brain. So you would have to do, math, and then you had to do music. So the one cool, weird part about our school, we had a class for music where we had tons of African instruments in there that we would play. So the different bongos and drums and all of that, I played all of that before. But I actually played the violin from 3rd until 6th grade. I don't play it anymore, but I did play violin from 3rd until 6th grade.
Hey, that's what's up.
Do you have any in Nike? So do you think it's a good time to get more? I have what's called an what do you call it? I have an ETF in Nike, so I bought my personal brokerage account, my retirement accounts are through Vanguard, so you can look up actual funds that will house different types of stocks in there. So I bought into VCF, VCR fund that does house Nike stock. So I would like to buy more. I think I issue one day I'm going to do a challenge where for every sneaker you buy, whatever brand it is, you buy a stock or a share of that stock, just so you're actually like buying into the stuff that you seem to care about. I do think it's a time to buy. So when it comes to, I guess, buying stuff and not buying stuff, here's the thing. I kind of liken it to when if you make a variable income, when times are really, really good, that's actually the time for you to save. That's the time for you to be just kind of chill, kind of relax, right?
Yeah. Yep.
When you're not bringing in as much, when times are down, that's actually the time to probably reinvest in stuff. So like right now, stocks are don't believe the stock market. The stock market doesn't run congruent with the actual economy. I think people think that, and it doesn't, right? The stock market runs on perception. If you can buy right now, buy. Buy right now if you can. If you have the means, the disposable income to buy, I would say go ahead and buy right now, because you have a lot of people that are either fearful so they won't. You have a lot of people that are simply not in a position to buy. So I say buy right now. If you have the means to buy, I would love to right now. I'm taking advantage of the fact that all federal student loans are in forbearance, which means you don't have to pay. But my looking ass is paying, so they can get paid off faster with no interest accruing. So yeah, as soon as that's done, I will for sure. I'll probably do a whole video one day of like how you can start your own personal brokerage account and how to actually buy it, because I don't think people always know that.
Exactly.
How can you save money? Because I have a hard time doing so. If you know that that's human nature.
Get your ass out of here. You ain't got no damn hard time. Look at that.
That's human nature for real. It's hard, right? We are not accustomed to having to delay that gratification, right? We have it and we have it in our hand. We want to spend it. Automate it. Like honestly, automate it. Like we automate our retirement, right? I don't see what goes into my retirement fund. I never see it in my paycheck ever. Like I don't ever see it. It's already gone. The only time I see it is when I have to put on taxes what I actually put into my retirement every year. So automate it. You can set this up with your bank pretty much, or even your employer. You could have like a certain percentage of your check go into your main checking and have another percentage or another amount go into a separate account that you never do that. Like honestly, do that. If you get paid every 2 weeks, put aside 5% from or that first paycheck. Put aside 5% from that next paycheck. Boom, you save 10% of your income no matter what. You really didn't see it. You really didn't miss it. That's a good way. That's a good way to do it. Automate it. Like, listen, we have to fight against our own human nature, so just automate
it. Exactly. Yo, wait. We are at 58 minutes, man. Look, TJ, one thing I want to say is that, like, talking to you, getting to know you more, through this interview, I can tell that you are someone that, like, you can hold your own. You know what I mean? to the point where, because then a lot of people ask you like, do she have a man? She's a man. Like when I see you, I'm like, hey, like if you anybody that steps to you and want to be like, yo, hey, I want to do this, they need to be on their shit. That like you, I see you like. Not just anybody. I feel I don't know how you operate, but not just anybody can just be like yo, like let's make this happen.
Listen,
No,
I've had to change. I've had to change how I even operate, and this is from not even what I've said. Like I've had a lot of guy friends that simply platonically care, and they're just like, listen, what we're not gonna do anymore or deal with is this here. That you have to I think I have to understand more. I'm certainly not meant for anybody, right? The way I approach life with my drive, my ambition, right? Prior to COVID, everything happening, I was somebody that gets up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out, go work a 14-hour day, come back, still do videos, still engage with people, still do whatever I need to do to take care of my house. So that's going to be different, right? You can't, let me put it this way. Everybody who is simply attracted to you and you're attracted to them, that doesn't mean that needs to happen. And that being the case, it's 7 billion people in this world. You can be attracted to a lot of people. Doesn't mean you have any business being with them. So I'm just learning to be a very patient, relaxed person. And we'll see what happens. But truly, not even interested. Just focus on me.
Hey, and there we have it. TJ talks, Miss Talks with TJ. Hey, thank you so much for coming on my channel, man, and being
absolutely, man. You had your subscribers letting me know in the DMs like, listen, Skip looking ass need to get you on. I'm like, listen, I let every creator do their thing. Okay. Yes. If he sees the value in having me on, he'll invite me on. I'm one of those people too where you won't ever see me doing a whole lot of lives or collaborations or things like that. Yeah. Just because I think people have to understand standing on your own merit is what gets you farther, right? We all come in this world are alone and we're gonna die alone. That's just the way it is. So your success is gonna be alone as well. Don't ever become accustomed, complacent, or comfortable with linking yourself to somebody else. I like having total control of what's going out there because I know what I said, so I can stand on what I said. When you link with other people, you have to be aware of who they are because how they choose to behave on the internet can be associated with you, and I don't have time to defend the actions of somebody I don't control. Exactly. So yeah, I was happy to come on though. I know what you're about.
Yeah. This interview went hard, man. Oh my gosh. Hey, we got the homie QB said best interview ever.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, finally one of the best interviews yet. Oh man, like TJ, hey TJ, where are you from?
So I actually grew up in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, man.
Phone number is still 313 area code.
Who's your Detroit at?
Yeah. So eventually, when I actually make it home, now I don't live there now. My parents, because I moved out of Detroit. I think I was 7, 8 maybe. Moved out of Detroit and kind of moved to the outskirts. So I went to Redford Thurston High School. I mean, that's public knowledge. People know that. They can just Google search me. Yeah. So I went to Redford Thurston High School, which is a suburb right outside of Detroit. But yeah, I'm from Michigan. I know I have this weird Southern accent that everybody says you have to be from the South. I am not from the South. I just sound like it, and I don't know why. But yeah, I'm from Michigan. I live in Indiana, so I've never actually lived outside of the Midwest.
And there you have it. Hey, one day I hope to meet you one day. If the world was normal, I know there's gotta be you don't really go to sneaker cons, right? Not at all.
I did a video why I have not been. The ROI just didn't make sense for me at that point. Mm-hmm. So the funny thing was, before all of this happened, I was actually in negotiations to go down to Miami for some of the events that were going to happen end of this month for May. Of course, that didn't happen. But if the world can return to somewhat normal, and I'm trying to work on it actually to where my weekends are free, then I'll definitely try to, AJ and I will try to link, plan out some events, and then try to go and travel to those. So God willing, we get somewhat back to normal. I will try to get out to some events. Yeah.
Word, you hit up Dallas Sneaker Con. When you do, hit it
I
up.
will never forget your video when you were like, "Listen, let me explain all to y'all what it's gonna be like. Okay, it's gonna be hot. You're gonna feel like you're gonna die. Don't bring your looking ass in here with no pants on. Okay, you need shorts. You need some light colors. Leave the black t-shirts out."
Just like that, exactly.
I was like, see, this here is the reason why I don't know if I want to go to Dallas. Okay, I don't want to just like die of a heat stroke when I step out of the car.
Bruh, Dallas, I'm telling you, like I said, like I see your fan base. Like I said, you're growing. 12K on the way, if not tonight. Looking ass, I'm talking. Hey,
We'll check on Skipslive right now. Let's see what it says.
Let's see.
11,991. So we're 9 away.
Yeah, yes. Look, you gonna get it after this interview. Whenever we close it off, man. Look, you got it. 12K, man. I say, hey, congrats, because you got it already. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been, like I said, it's been wild. Like you think with everything going on, there would be some stagnation, but that hasn't been the case.
Hey, all about, like I said, you're very consistent with your videos. I'm talking about like clockwork, you know what I mean? And that is something that, hey, being in this sneaker YouTube game, especially sneaker YouTube game, I mean, there's so many aspects about it, but staying consistent, being yourself, being that likable person or whoever, blah 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 blah. Hey, you'll grow. And like I said for you, TJ, you're very consistent. You know what you're talking about, and hey, like the people love you, and you are.
Listen, I appreciate it. I did see one person who was definitely in here off the cut, so they are in Dallas. So you might get a cheat of how I get down to Dallas is because I need to go down there to see James, Dappa, and Matt to see their show. Honestly, one of the most underrated sneaker shows, the highest production ever. So I really do. They're in Dallas. Like I have a tracker on my phone that tracks flights to Dallas, and so it updates me daily. Like your flight is only $163. I'm like, with what else attached to it once I get to the airport? So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get down to Dallas for sure.
Word. And that is it. TJ Talks with TJ. Thank you so much. Like I said, hey, you're doing it. You're representing for the females out there. Like I never heard any goofy shit come from your way at all. Just straight business, straight having fun. And like I said, hey man, we appreciate you. Real talk.
No, I appreciate it. Honestly, guys, thank you. Trust me, I dive into content of tons of other genres that have nothing to do with sneakers. So I know there's a lot of options out there for us to watch, a lot of creative people on this platform. So I appreciate any time you guys do spend on my channel.
Word. And that is it. Hey, if y'all haven't already, man, go ahead and subscribe to Talks with TJ. And any of your audience that came in that first meeting me for the first time, man, y'all go ahead and sub up.
Guys, listen, comedy, like I don't watch tons of sneaker content all the time now. I really don't. So when it comes to Skip, I'm like, okay, what comedy he about to bring today? What laugh is gonna come? And he keeps it real. Listen, he's very real about other creators, not in knocking any of them, but in the fact that pointing out the things that don't make sense. That's something he do.
Facts. Look. And hey, thank everybody that tuned in. Hey, I knew this was gonna be a good one. This was gonna be a big interview. And look, man, that is it. Look, I'm Skip Goes Hard, the most underrated, never duplicated, funniest sneaker YouTuber of them all. Facts. And TJ, you go ahead and say your stuff, and we signing it out.
What's up, everybody? It's Go TJ, aka Talks with TJ. 2 Swoosh Change, who technically has on like 4 or 5, but y'all already know what it is. So thank you guys so much again. Whether it's 2 Swoosh crew that came into the house or Skip's homies and homettes that decided to tune in and watch me. I know he calls y'all family. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love the energy that Skip brings, so that's why I definitely wanted to come on and do this. Appreciate you guys.
And we are out. Peace. Good grief. This was great. I already know I'm about to laugh my butt off at